issues. Your Excellency, as county governments, we are all aware that tea within agriculture is a devolved function. But we want to take this opportunity on behalf of county governments, Your Excellency, to thank you specifically and the Kenya Kwanza administration for the centrality that you have put agriculture. We want to say for the very first time in the history of this republic, we are sitting down, both levels of government, to discuss issues touching on our farmers. And Your Excellency, I think during the campaigns, we kept on hearing that statistically, agriculture has been overtaken by other sectors as being, foreign earners in our republic. That is not a very good, that is not a very good state. Considering the fact that 90% of the economy of this country is built on agriculture. And we want to take this opportunity on behalf of county governments to thank national government for the position that you have taken, that we have to go back to agriculture and see how we can lift the lives of majority of Kenyans who are employed and who are earning or obtaining livelihoods from the agriculture sector. Particularly on tea, Your Excellency, we will be interested as county governments to participate actively in this forum and be able to look at the outcome that will come from this conference. And we as county governments will do our part. That which will be agreed in this forum and that county governments must be able to put resources, I give the commitment of the Council of Governors and all the county governments within the tea growing areas that we will do exactly that. So that within the next 2 or 3 years, Your Excellency, we see a complete turnaround of the tea sector in this country and that we can then support our farmers to deal with this situation. Again, Your Excellency, we were in Meru the other day, and the very deep discussions that we had around the transformation of the coffee sector. I am hoping that today, seated here in this forum and tomorrow, that we will shoot straight on our faces. Tell ourselves where the problem is. Because for sure, Your Excellency, there is a problem. If you look at the price that our farmers get for their tea, and you look at what consumers are paying globally for the same tea, it's a world of a difference. And therefore, we are hoping that from these discussions today, we will be able to understand where is this gap. Who is this that is benefiting from the tea that the farmer is not able to benefit, yet the consumer has paid a good price for the tea that farmers have given. Yet there is a middleman or some sort of a mechanism that money is lost. That the consumer has paid a good price, the farmer has not gotten good money. We hope that these discussions will be achieved today. And I want to give the commitment that we are going to participate, we are going to look at the resolutions, and we are going to support you, Your Excellency, in turning around the agriculture sector in our republic. May I now take this opportunity to introduce my colleague governors who are here, together with the deputy governors. Where are they, the deputy governors and the governors? Can we be upstanding? Very well, we have Ses Mbarire, the governor for Embu, and also the chair UDA, Pigea Makofi. Of course, we have our deputy governor here, Kericho, asante sana. We have Governor Vihiga, asante sana. We have Governor Nakuru, asante sana. We have Deputy Governor Vihiga, Deputy Governor Nakuru, Deputy Governor Kirinyaga, and Deputy Governor Nyeri. We also, Your Excellency, have our CECs from county governments, CECs and chief officers from county governments who have been invited to come to this forum. Can we be upstanding? CECs and chief officers and agricultural team from counties. Pigieni hawa makofi. And also, Your Excellency, our farmers who are coming from the various counties. Can we be upstanding, our farmers? Our farmers. They actually form 70% of the congregation here. Pigiani farmers wetu makofi. Your Excellency, we are committed to this journey and thank you for devoting your time, particularly for agriculture. We are excited to work with you on this agenda. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Whip from the Council. And Your Excellency, I invited Sang to demonstrate our commitment to this agenda. And I want to say this very clearly, Your Excellency, that at this given point of time, if there is one office which will be remembered kindly by history, is your office. If there is anything that will speak to the lives of our people, to the rural economy, is the question of tea, coffee, milk, and pyrethrum. Today, Your Excellency, when we speak, we know for a decade in Kericho County, parents has been educating their children through tea. But over time, circumstances have changed so much that people have reached a point of even uprooting tea in their farms. It tells us that there is a problem that we must be honest to speak to it. The key issue that I would like us, even as we proceed this conference, to have a honest conversation, Your Excellency, is sometimes it baffles me that we have a farmer who, as we sit now, is in the farm plucking. But in return, he will get 20 or 18 shillings in a month. When you remove for plucking 8 shillings, this farmer remains with 12 shillings. If you get for input and fertilizers, the prices comes to even 8 shillings. A kienyeji chicken that runs around with a cockerel in the village and managed to have an egg somewhere as a sitter today, that egg could be sold at 20 shillings, Your Excellency. So it tells us that the precious, like other counters around here, and for 100 years since tea was reduced here, we don't have any other farm available. That means in terms of the cows that we keep, in terms of the maize that we plant, that I believe so hard that your choice of Kericho as a destination to have this conversation will speak volumes to us. The brokerage market and a platter of oranges and good things in the morning that would see that the price of tea in the auction market in Mombasa goes at 600 shillings a kilo, but here, what goes to Cherop in the village is 18 shillings. It is the inverse, because at the end of the day, the broker will get 3 times what the genuine farmer could receive. So we must also think through this conference, what we do with the brokerage. I have suggested in the past, Your Excellency, respectful. Times have changed. Move forward, because it's unacceptable that for a decade we are still taking our tea to Mombasa, and then we put to the farmer the cost of transport through the lead down, and also Senator for Kericho fought viciously for reforms to relook into the directors of KDDA. Today, we have new directors. But the question is, nothing much has changed. It is disappointing, Your Excellency, and I'll be making these contributions as we proceed to our discussion. And I know you're a truthful man, you'll also speak to these things. That some people in Nairobi can do up to 40 trips overseas at the expense of the farmer. Funding useless trips to go and see how fertilizers is being processed in some foreign countries. When in the world of digital generation, they can easily assess it and even ask for imports to be brought and check that fertilizer is here. So we will look into the whole totality of the package, the directorship, the leadership, and even new practices that are going forward. I want to conclude by indicating, Your Excellency, that as a county government, we have done the bit that we can in pushing production. And I know other counties are doing this. 2 months, Your Excellency, I employed 30 agricultural extension officers for every ward to support the farmer in the tea industry on the best practices to ensure production goes up. We have moved forward also to build tea buying centers across. And I know this happenings in all the other counties. But now, as you push for production, as you work on the subsidized fertilizers, it's about time that we look at these things that can help us. There is, Your Excellency, something that I would want to learn as an innocent student. There are so many certifications. There is one called Rainforest Alliance in Geneva. They don't know even where Mamul factory is, but they will license Mamul to operate with huge hefty money. I don't want to preempt, but I just look forward that under your leadership, Your Excellency, we commit as a county that we will support the reforms, we will support what you spearhead, and we will continue to support your office actively, because I have known you that you are a man that has the heart of the farmer and has the heart for the hustlers. We will work together, we will partner strongly with national government to ensure this success. To that point, I would like to recognize the MCAs that are here. MCAs, kindly. MCAs. Thank you so much. Those are our MCAs from different counties that have been selected for this forum. And I know they are key in making legislation. Let's clap for them kindly. At this point of time, it's now my singular pleasure to invite the CS Linturi to come and give his remarks. Then in return, invite for us our beloved Deputy President. Karibu CS. Majority. Yeah. Oh. Yes. We have not recognized the senators, and the MPs were able to recognize themselves, and the governors. Your Excellency, I know time is running, but it won't be fair if we don't recognize the senators. So let me ask our Senate Majority Leader and also the Senator for Kericho County, just in 5 minutes or less, to come and do that. Yes, don't worry, I'll give you company, we stand together there. And this, Your Excellency, is the champion of reforms in the tea industry. Let's clap for Aaron, this wonderful brother of ours. Thank you. He's very tall. Let's help him with the mic so that he can.
Asante, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, viongozi na wakulima wote wa chai ambao wako hapa, naomba niwasalimu wote hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Asante. Ya kwanza ni kuwakaribisha Kericho. Welcome to this beautiful county of ours. Ya pili ni kusema this is the opportunity for us to reshape this conversation ambayo we started a few years ago. Bado hatuja achieve what we set out to do. When we began this conversation, there are many things that we heard from farmers. And I'm sure even today, wakati wakulima watapewa nafasi, wataongea yote ambayo iko kwa moyo yao. Lakini kusema tu, Your Excellency, we still have a lot of work ahead of us. We know where the problem is, and we know also partly what the solutions are. But let's be gathered here today and take stock of the things that have happened, the journey that is ahead of us. Ili, you know, the heart of our conversation as a Kenya Kwanza is that we say it's a bottom-up approach to issues, going back to the very basics. Our wakulima wetu that are here are at the bottom of the pyramid. So today we must listen to them because they must get full value for the hard work. Until such a time when our farmers will get full value for their hard work and the labor that they put in, we will not say that we have done our duty. So karibuni sana Kericho. I don't intend to make many remarks because I'm sure during plenary we'll have a lot of answers and say many things at that particular time. Wakati huu ambapo tutakuwa tumesikiza almost all stakeholders, including the regulator. So I want to recognize the various senators that are here. Nataka wasimame. Senate is a house where this conversation began. We first had the Tea caucus team. Hata huyu waziri was a member in the last Senate. Together with those members, we drafted the Tea bill of 2020. Then now this good team, there's an amendment that is presently before them in a committee that is chaired by Senator Murango of Kirinyaga. And I believe after this meeting from Muranga County, thank you very much. That's Senator Murango from Kirinyaga, our Chair of Agriculture. That's Senator Mundigi from Embu, a tea farmer also. That's Senator Wakoli Wafula, he comes from Bungoma County. That's Senator Matinga Wahome. Thank you, Alan. That's Senator Hilary Sigei, the current mover of the bill that is before the Senate. Thank you. That's my deputy, Senator Tabitha Karanja, Senator of Nakuru. She represents many tea farmers. That's our deputy speaker and the senator for Meru, Senator Kathuri Murungi. Asante sana. Na there are members also wa National Assembly who arrived. I saw kina Wakili Muriu and quite a number of them who arrived when we had done introduction. Munaweza simama. Even the member for Nyeri Town, I saw you walk and you know you're very tall, so I picked you out. Asante. All of them arrived wakati tumefanya contribution. Karibuni Kericho, let's speak and be free. This is a land of freedom. Tukitoka hapa, tutoke kama tumekubaliana vile tutasaidia wakulima wetu. Asanteni na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much. Once again, another clap for our majority leader. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, I think because we are in a farmers conference, our program is working backwards. And I want to recognize our women, member of county, Mama County wetu, Mheshimiwa Beatrice. Thank you so much. I think she'll get a chance in the process. And all the women reps who are here, you are so much welcome. So it is now my chance to welcome CS to come and proceed.
The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, the Governor of this great county of Kericho, my colleague Minister Murkomen, my former colleagues in the Senate, the members of the National Assembly, and our distinguished farmers present here, and all the other tea stakeholders. Let me start by saying that it really gives me great pleasure to be with you in this very important tea conference here in Kericho. I'm happy that for the first time, we have a sensitive government that is committed, that is really focused in addressing the issues that really touch on the well-being of our farmers in this country. It is worth noting that tea, the role tea plays in our economy, is in a way that it is one of the largest foreign exchange earners in this country, and for that matter, its importance cannot be overemphasized. And when we meet here today, we meet here to really reflect and see the challenges that this tea sector faces and how best we can be able to bring around the reforms that will go towards ensuring that we have the best of the prices for our farmers. The little experience that I've gained as the CS Agriculture in the last 7 months, and which I would want to briefly share, because this meeting is for the Deputy President, is that when the Kenya Kwanza administration was coming into being, they made pledges to the people of this country. And one of the pledges that I remember was made, there was an issue of the guaranteed minimum returns of our produce. The experience I've been able to gather was some of the challenges that we are faced that include and that are not limited to the increased cost of production occasioned by high costs of inputs also arise as a result of poor governance, and at the same time, failure by some of the sector players to work closely together to ensure that prices are set at certain levels. I have visited the tea auction in Mombasa as the CS, and I just want to commend some of the sector players that have placed the minimum return on their tea at the auction at above $2.4. The others that have made it for free of the allocation of dollars in one of our greatest buyers of tea in Pakistan. I led a delegation to Pakistan, where I had high-level discussions with the leaders in Pakistan. And out of that discussion, tea was listed as one of the essential commodities in Pakistan. And it is due to that the allocation of dollars to the brokers, to the buyers of tea, was done by the Bank of Pakistan, and we were able to address the problems of the foreign exchange issues that there were. But what shocked me during that particular trip, when I had a meeting in one of the evenings for dinner with the tea buyers, is one I think Senator or the governor has spoken about. One of the buyers of tea said, and I quote, that Kenya produces one of the very best teas in the world, but is not able to attract the best price for it. That is what one of the buyers said. And when I tried to ask what that statement meant, that is how I discovered that as KTNDA has set a price, a minimum price for every kilo of tea, then the other independent players are not bothered, are not worried, and can now even be able to sell their tea at a price lower than the $2.4. Being a business person, you also realize that you will not be able to buy a 2.4 or 3 when somebody is selling you the same quality tea from the same region at a price lower than the $2. I am giving this example so that this conference, as we sit here, we are able to come up with suggestions on how ideas on better prices by really setting minimum prices for tea in the international markets. That is one of the things that I expect or hope that this meeting can easily be able to achieve. Yes, it is true, and government has been, and we want to thank His Excellency the President, his deputy, because they have made specific interventions to address the problems of our farmers. I specifically want to say, and which we appreciate, and pass our regard, every other farmer was getting the fertilizer subsidy. Our farmers were able to get fertilizer subsidy. What this means is that the cost of production, because it has been skyrocketing, government itself is putting specific interventions to address the cost of production so that our farmers are able to get better prices for their tea. And as the government endeavors to do this, I think It's all important now. We all work out together, come reason together, and see what is it that we can do to ensure our prices are stabilized, to ensure we are able to increase production and productivity. But I want to imagine that this responsibility, government having taken it this seriously, the farmers of this country, who constitute a greater majority of those people, are the lowest of the pyramid, will have something to smile about. To give you the necessary support. We will do what we can to ensure the greater agenda of this administration is achieved. And I do not believe, and I am sure, this being your meeting, we are supposed to listen to you and then give the opportunity to our farmers who rarely have a time so that we are able to see or understand from Excellency. It's now my duty and single privilege to really welcome you to address this gathering. Tukusimame tukaribishe naibu wa rais aweze tu Excellency. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, the Honorable Mithika Linturi, Excellencies Governors present, the Leader of Majority in the Senate, Honorable Senators, Members of Parliament, Board of Directors of KTDA, the officials, and our farmers, and the stakeholders in the tea subsector, good morning. God is good, and all the time. Salimeni kwa hewa, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Thank you. I welcome you all to this special summit on the tea subsector reforms in the beautiful county of Kericho, the country's leading producer of tea. The agriculture sector contributes 22% to our national gross domestic product, with the tea subsector accounting for 2%. With over 650,000 growers spread in 18 counties, Kenya is a leading global producer and exporter of various types of tea, with black tea accounting for at least 95% of the sold crop. Over the years, tea has earned the country foreign exchange. For instance, in 2022, the subsector recorded 20.9%, the highest foreign exchange earnings of 163 billion due to competitive export prices. This was an increase from 130 billion Kenya shillings registered in 2021. This is in spite of the low production across the country as a result of prolonged drought. Distinguished farmers and delegates, tea posted positive results despite geopolitical and internal instabilities in major markets like Russia and Pakistan. The price of 100 kg bag of tea increased to 29,000 Kenya shillings in 2022 from Kenya shillings 23,000 the previous year. That is an increase of about 294 shillings per kilo. Apart from expansion of the existing market, the demand has been on the rise. That is why Pakistan, for instance, imported 20.6% more tea than in the previous year of 2021. Besides keeping traditional markets such as Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom, Kenya made more inroads in Africa. It was among first member states parties to trade in tea under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement with Ghana. distinguished farmers, the international market size for tea remains healthy in the year 2031, exceeding 93.2 billion US dollars. Consumption of black tea alone, which Kenya produces most, is expected to grow by over 2% in the next decade. Despite the current stable and favorable market, our smallholder tea farmer remains at the bottom of the pyramid. The farmer is pressed by high cost of production. They also bear the burden of huge operational costs. In spite of Kenya producing distinct flavors of tea, the market does not take care of the best interests of the farmer. The farmer has no power to determine the price, yet this is a much sought commodity across the globe, even when sold in raw form. In other words, the farmer who puts most efforts earns the least. In simple terms, the pyramid is inverted against the farmer. The farmer is struggling economically. Distinguished farmers and delegates, that is why we are here today. President William Ruto, in Executive Order number 1, 2023, tasked me with the responsibility to lead public reforms in the tea, coffee, commensurate to their sweat and effort. This will feed into the Kenya Kwanza plan of value addition to the tea, which will multiply the earnings of our farmers. Currently, up to 95% of our tea is exported in raw form. This means farmers do not get maximum value for their sweat. In addition, we want our farmers to earn more from specialty tea. This is how we will stabilize and strengthen our economy, promoting a strong tea brand internationally. As I conclude, for the record, I wish to state that President William Ruto and I have zero vested interest in the tea subsector. And that is why these reforms will succeed, because there will be no conflict of interest. Sisi uhusiano wetu na chai na rais ni ile tu iko kwa kikombe peke yake. Hatuna interest ingine. We only want the farmer to thrive. I therefore invite you to an open has explored lasting legal, policy, administrative, and operational strategies of returning the tea money to where it belongs, to the farmer. So when I was coming last night and I flew over the tea plantations, as I looked down and appreciated the beauty, how beautiful the tea looks, I asked for the farmers who farm tea to look equally beautiful like the tea bushes. Mifuko yao. Nations are so beautiful. It's a sight to behold. But beside that beauty is misery for the farmer. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa tuongee. Na tuongee ukweli. Na muko na nafasi hapa na ya kuzungumza. Mimi nitaketi hapa mpaka jioni. Hao wakulima ukimya milele. This is the last conversation we are going to have about this tea. We cannot every year tunaongea nini. Museme leo. Mutasema? Wale wananyanyasa nyinyi, wale wanaumiza nyinyi, pale mnajua pesa napotea. It is the time to say today. And I want to assure you, like we did in coffee, ile yote mtasema, tutarekebisha sheria, na rais na mimi na waziri tutafuatilia, it will happen. I want to in pushing the Tea Act. Lakini baada ya hiyo sheria haijatekelezwa, imelaliwa, si ndio? Because the government that was there was not keen. Sheria iko nzuri, inaweza okoa mkulima, lakini the implementation, some people are still doing things the way they were doing before the enactment of the Tea Act. I want to give you an undertaking from Kericho on behalf of my boss, President William Ruto, that the reforms we are going to agree on, our two houses of parliament where we have the majority, the Senate and the National Assembly, will make the various amendments into law. Thereafter, the President and I and the ministers responsible will ensure 100% compliance with the law. This is part of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And we are very serious about it. It cannot be that I'm here in Kericho for 3 days just to hang around. Na hii baridi ya Kericho, siwezi kuja hapa na hii baridi. Sisi tumekuja hapa kazi. Na hii kazi, you know, many people, when we were doing coffee, those cartels thought that ni ile mchezo wamezoea. Ati watu wanaongea, alafu wanatutafuta milioni 10, milioni 20, alafu hiyo maneno nasahaulika. I want to tell the people who are here, in all the sectors, KTDA, T-Board, Nani, it's not business as usual. And these 2 days here is not a joke. And everybody will have to align. Even as we make the amendments, from Monday we'll enforce the Tea Act that is presently in place. We'll enforce. Na wale watazuia, tutaweka kando. So the Tea Act will be implemented as it is, as even we seek amendments, because already Senator Cheriot and Parliament did a good job. And if that thing had been implemented, we will be 50% successful. We will be dealing with the remaining 50%. So even as we listen to you and we get our two houses here, we'll first implement what is in place so that watu waone hakuna mchezo. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kumkaribisha kwa mazungumzo open. Huyu gavana wa Embu aliongea kule Meru mambo ya kahawa. Watu wakatetemeka. Makatelo wakatoroka, walikuwa huko ndani. Leo ndio maneno tell us what we need to do. It cannot be hii chai tukienda London, we cannot afford because of how expensive it is, na imetoka hapa kwetu. Alafu mkulima hakuna kitu anapata. Lazima Davis Churchill tumemtuma huko nchi za Waarabu kutafutia sisi petroli na diesel ya bei rahisi. Atajiunga na sisi kesho. afternoon. Maneno yao pia. Ndio nikienda pale kwa cabinet, you also support me. So the governors who have come, asanteni sana. Senators, asanteni sana. Members of parliament, asanteni. Board of directors of KTDA, wakulima, asanteni sana. I believe my people have taken good care of you and they will continue taking care of you until tumalizane naye. Kwa hivyo kwa hayo mengi, I want now to declare this summit officially open and ask for discussion. Nani naendesha maneno? Ruhusu ni wewe? Haya, kuja tuanze.
Has already placed our flag up high in the global scenario. We really do thank you. Your Excellency, sir, tea growing in Kenya ranks third globally after China and after Asia. But how do we get it to be the very first? Bearing in mind, in the year 2018, we were the largest exporters of black tea. Your Excellency, sir, I wish at this juncture to get to a very important session where we have a plenary to invite all stakeholders, the farmers present here, to air what exactly is the current position in the tea sector. What challenges do they face? How do we better this sector? I wish to invite Nandi County Governor, His Excellency Stephen Sang, to take us through this session. Karibu, Your Excellency. And of course, as the Excellency Governor makes his way, remember that production of tea in Kenya, 60% is done by the small-scale farmers and 40% by the large producers. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Asante Sana. We want to now go the real bottom up. The next session is being moderated by myself and the PS Crops, but I will be able to start the process. And as you can see in our program, we are looking at the farmers' plenary session. What do you want us, or what do you want with regard to tea, and how do we get there? And we will be addressing ourselves to three critical areas. What is the current state? What is the desired future state? And what are the strategies to get us there? And as said by the Deputy President, this is an opportunity for you to speak. Na hata kama kuna farmer atataka kuongea na lugha, utaongea na lugha. Sisi tutatafsiri. We do not want your points to be lost in the language, in the difficulty ya language. Ukitaka kuzungumza na Kiswahili, hapo ni sawa. Ukitaka kuzungumza na Kiingereza, ni sawa. Ukisukuma pia na Kikale, we are going to be available to listen to you and even to do some bit of translations. So our farmers, I know you have already sat down and organized yourselves. And we now want to have the first panel. And we are going to have a panel of about 4 or 5. Let's have 5 seats. And the plenary session here is talking about farmers. We are looking at farmers and we are looking at factories for purposes of helping us process this first session. Where are they, tafadhali farmers? You know yourselves. I think the team you had identified yourself. Your Excellency, part of the discussions that we are hoping to achieve here today is that as we also have that difficulty in understanding the differences in farmers' prices with regard to what the consumers pay, there is also at the eastern side. There is a huge difference in terms of disparity in terms of prices for our farmers. So the question that we also want to understand, what is it that makes the tea from this region, the western region, attract less the eastern region attracts a fair, a good price. Those are some of the things that we want to understand here. Karibu sir, where are the other farmers? And as we get the other farmers, as we just organize our farmers here, can Your Excellency, in 1 or 2 minutes, I want to take this opportunity to, where is the other microphone? Just give the members of parliament to mention their names and the
You may not know it, but there is a simple way to earn in dollars and euros by doing small tasks for just 1 to 2 hours of your day. Some people are even doing
production. Where is the other microphone? To members of parliament, your name and your constituency as we get our farmers here.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and all area. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Nelson Koech from a constituency that has a lot of myths to its name. Belgut apparently was there was tea tasting school in Kabianga just before independence. Chai akaweka hapo akaenda. He came after 6 months akasema this place has very good tea. But because Wakisi walikuwa wanaishi hapo, Mkisi aka very good constituency.
Good morning, Your Excellency, all protocol.
Good morning, Excellency. My name is Joseph Cherorot, representing the great people of Kipkelion East, which is a front office to Kericho County. We do tea and coffee in that area. I have several multinational companies in my constituency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Double N, Embu Woman Representative. And in Embu, we also have tea. We have factory in Rokorire, Mongani and Kadangarire. And welcome to Embu once again, the land of opportunities. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Ambassador Francis Sigay, MB Sotik. I'm a very small-scale farmer, very small. And I have a lot of farmers in my area. And Your Excellency, you are welcome to this seminar. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, His Excellency. I'm Peter Kihongi.
Very much.
Okay, good morning, His Excellency. I'm Peter Kihongi, MP Kangema, and also a tea farmer.
My name is Beatrice Kemei, County MP Kericho. Welcome to Kericho. And all my childhood, I was actually picking tea, weeding. The proceeds from tea is what made me go to school. I'm also a very, very small tea farmer, just like Ambassador Sikei. And thank you very much. Welcome.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Duncan Maina Madenge, Member of Parliament, Nyeri Town Constituency. We grow tea in Kehuyo sub-location, Kenunga sub-location, and Modhoaine. But we deliver all our tea to Gaduthi, and we improve the Gaduthi tea.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President. Protocols observed. My name is Geoffrey Wandeto. I am Member of Parliament for Teto constituency.
My name is Ashley, and I've been using the CeraVe moisturizing cream for about 10 years now. I found CeraVe through my grandmother. She was so adamant that I try it, and I'm so glad that I did. I started noticing the significant changes in my skin. It was more moisturized, less irritated, less dry. My favorite thing about the moisturizing cream is that it's so thick and it constantly gives you moisture, but it's surprisingly breathable and it absorbs very quickly. I feel like a new person since using CeraVe. I have my confidence back. I can just enjoy my life. I kind of feel like my skin loves me back now.
Excellency, my name is Mushangi Karemba, Member of Parliament for Runyenjes constituency, which is the home to Rokorire Tea Factory. My farmers are all small-scale farmers and are highly expectant of this conference. Thank you, Excellency.
Asanteni sana. Let us appreciate all our members of parliament. These are very key stakeholders who would be able to implement in terms of legislation and policy what will be decided in this summit. We have our colleague, Governor. Introduce yourself.
To Governor Bomet. Producer of tea in Kenya, Your Excellency. The largest volume comes from Bomet. Thank you.
So, Barachok, that is subject to discussion. Even as in Nandi are contesting, Your Excellency, I think most likely Nandi is actually the largest, but nonetheless, we will agree with with the details and the statistics that we'll get. Now, asanteni sana. We now want to move into this plenary session. Your Excellency, the PS crops will be represented by Mr. Jacob Kamau, who is the chair of the Tea Board of Kenya, and is the one who is going to help us moderate this session together with the After this, we will also come back to you so that we are going to get it as it were. Your Excellency, you remember in Meru, we had a small challenge when we had selected farmers to come and make presentations. A lot of issues were raised as to how they were reached, how we agreed on them, and a few other issues came up. We want to be as open as possible. Seated across here so that then we can have that opportunity. Mr. Jacob Kamau, can you take over on behalf of the peers to lead us in this session? Hello.
Jacob Kamau Kahiu. I am newly appointed the chairman of the Tea Board of Kenya. To thank His Excellency the President for appointing me to chair the Tea Board. We know the Tea Board is where now the government Tea Board. And Tea Board as a regulator is where everything has been brought into and has to be brought heard from His Excellency, nothing will be hindered from anybody. Farmer or anybody to give us suggestions or complaints who is going like to hear what you have. And don't fear any question. Ask any question at upper, because we could not get all the 650 farmers here. What the KTDA agreement with the KTDA management services. We have completed most of them. but we will take the mic and take the questions. So I've got the farmers.
Na wakulima tunaomba ya kwamba as much as possible tutumie lugha ya Kiswahili ili farmers wetu wote na Wakenya kwa ujumla waweze kuelewa tunazungumzia nini.
Asante sana. His Excellency, our Deputy President, wakulima wenzangu, amjambo. Amjambo wakulima. Tusalimiane basi tu. Githongo Tea Factory. Na wacha nichukue nafasi hii ni kushukuru sana kwa sababu ya kuweka hii ya kwamba mambo ya chai tumekuwa wakulima kutoka I know for 40 years, lakini hatujapata returns kwa shinda kubwa kwa mkopo, na mimi ni mkulima wa chai. Kwa ngirini fedha unatop mpaka kabuti inaisha. So leo mimi najua na tunakufuatilianga sana wakati unaongea mambo ya chai, ya kahawa, ya miraa, ya kwamba lazima tupate suluhisho leo. Mimi najua ukiwa hapa lazima tutapata suluhisho. Kwa sababu gani? Hii cheni kubwa kutoka kwa mkulima kwenda mpaka factory, tuchukue chai tupeleke Mombasa, alafu in returns tunapata shilingi 30 as a bonus. Je, hiyo shilingi 30 itatusaidia namna gani? Lakini tunasikia kila siku kisema hao ni iko makatero hapa iko we are in total agreement with you. Tumalisia hao makatero. I'm proud of gavana wetu Mberide wakati walikuwa Meru huko. Hata saa hii hata Meru tunaongea juu yako. You mentioned those cartels na hakuna kitu wamekufanya mpaka sasa. Hata leo, kwa sababu mimi najua iko mtu anaketi mali, yeye anapata shilingi pengine 1,000, na mimi najua naibu wa rais unajua hii maneno. Kwa sababu nilisema uko na 4-wheel drive. Uko na 4-wheel drive. Na mimi najua ukiweka hiyo 4-wheel drive, au watu watatoka kwa barabara, alafu mkulima ataona kofi ama ni makatero iko hapa. Manake tunaweza kuwa tunaongea na watu wengine, tuongee ukweli. So tuondolee hiyo value chain iwe very small, vile mkulima anaweza onana na mbaya, ndio tupate pesa kama kawaida, and you are equal to the task. Naibu wa rais na President Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Thank you very much. Mimi naitwa Kenneth Kirigia.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, governors, wageni wote, na wakulima wenzangu. Wache nichukue fursa huu niseme asante sana Deputy President conference on tea, something that has never happened before. There are a number of issues that mimi naitwa Alexander Komingoi from Bomet, Kanoin sub-county. $110. Now my biggest problem, ile shida niko naye ni shilingi 20 ambayo inapewa. I don't know whether it was Governor Kuku with 1 egg. Problem yangu, hii chai yangu wakati inauzwa huko Mombasa, kuna vitu huwa nafuatilia. Naiona auction ikikuja kwa mkulima inafika 20 shillings. My question, hii pesa yote where is it? My friend here has talked. I've had a number of issues. Kuna mtu ambaye sijui anaitwa jina gani. Tunasikianga tu, I think it's a very common name. Anaitwa Mr. Cartel. Cartel. Who is he? Your Excellency, this time, I know uko na fimbo na uko na machinery ya kutafuta huyu cartel ambaye anamalizia mkulima jasho lake. Number 2, hizi manufacturing costs ambaye inamaliza hii pesa yangu yote, at the end of the day, naambia hii pesa yako yote imeingia kwa manufacturing cost. Inamaliza mpaka 20 shilling. Hii ni biashara gani? Anapata faida kweli akiwa anapata 20 shillings? Na anaambia manufacturing costs. Hapo tuko na maji Bomet, a lot of rivers where we can generate our own electricity, but we still continue using firewood. We don't have a single factory. We are buying the electric unit from Kenya Power, which is extremely very expensive. Farmers are not getting their returns. We have a number of subsidiary departments, the subsidiary things. We have the Green Feather. We have the Machani Trading Company. We have the Temek. We have what. We have this and this and this. And all these are eating into the farmers' sweat. How beneficial are these departments to the farmer? Does it add value to what the farmer is getting? To invest in projects which are unprofitable. Very late and earn such a meager salary or earning. You knew, Your Excellency, how grateful our farmers are when you have lent us an ear to listen to our grievances, so that we the biggest problem there, loathsome amount of money. The management service, we have the factories, the farmers are paying, they double pay their money. .5%, which pays to them that is management service, and at the same time, there are also workers who eat into the same brokerage. We need to be looked into. Those who are earning commission must be relooked. The marketing itself, marketing of tea. We are also proposing that they should promote the tea in their various offices because they have what is known as bilateral trade. And tea should be one of these commodities which must be handled in terms of trade, so that the farmer does not spend a lot of money trying to market using his own money. We also need the money from the government to market the tea. The ambassadors to market the tea. We have a marketing department. Let's have tea also inside here. Let's have a ministry handling with these cash crops. A special ministry dealing with it, because this is what earns the country. The country earns a lot of foreign exchange from tea, and it is given some very little attention, and we are grateful. That the idea is now coming. And at this juncture, I want to thank His Excellency the President for his prayerful time, all the time. And it will be not good for me not even to mention what he has taught us. Tusalamiane tuseme Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Everybody, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Onionyeshe kwa mkono. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Saying that, the president has been very consistent on that. And today, this conference is the product of that prayer. Our answers are Your Excellency, thank you for creating time to come and share with us. Thank you.
a commonly accepted brand that is Kenyan tea. Last 2 weeks ago, I was with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in DRC. And you go to their supermarkets, you will find tea that is called Ceylon tea. Ceylon tea is tea from Sri Lanka. We are only 2,000 kilometers from DRC, but because of the brand that there is. So I think we need a unified brand, and I'm sure KTD at one point in time had East, Your Excellency, we need that brand because it is the one that is going to make us finally to market our tea.